Clear skies, especially the San Francisco Bay Area. Just a few clouds, though. Up in Northern California, cloud coverage is present, and much of Oregon on the western side, though. In Seattle, there's just cloud coverage on the mountains and along the coast, though. But I failed to mention about temperatures, so let's go back here and dew point as well. So let's see. See what we got. So we'll just limit what we have. So I'm not going to say all of that because there's just too much for me to digest. Let's see, starting off in New England, we got temperatures. Temperatures are in the 50s, in the upper 40s in Maine. In New Hampshire, temperatures they're in the 50s. Upstate New York, they are the 50s on the eastern side, but 60s on the western side. Pennsylvania, temperatures they're in the mid 50s to low 60s. In the New York City area, temperatures they're in the mid 50s to upper 50s to then we move to the mid Atlantic, where temperatures they're in. Yeah, temperatures are basically in the 60s for the most part, but going into West Virginia, temperatures are in the mid 50s, mid 60s, upper 60s in a few places. The Carolinas, in Georgia, temperatures for the most part they range from the upper 50s to low 70s. Florida, temperatures are in they range from 64, just located in Lake City, to about 83, located in Bradenton and Sarasota. Otherwise, just 70s for the most part. Going to Tennessee, temperatures are in the 70s throughout much of the state. And Alabama, Mississippi, temperatures range from the 70s to low 80s. Arkansas, temperatures are in the 70s to mid 80s. Louisiana, 80s. And let's go to Oklahoma. We got temperatures there. They are in they're in the upper. They range from 72 in Bartlesville, in Oklahoma, to 89 in Chickasha, Oklahoma, just southwest of Oklahoma City. In western Texas, what do we have? Well, in western Texas, temperatures are in the 80s, and in the southern part, temperatures are in the 80s to mid 90s. In the eastern part and northern parts of the state, temperatures they're actually in the 80s. Let's go to the Midwest. Ugh, I hate the way that they do this. It's just disorients me so much. Kentucky has temperatures that are in the mid 60s to low 70s. Ohio, they are in the 60s, along with Indiana. Illinois, temperatures are in the upper 60s to mid 70s. We go into the Great Lakes region. Okay, let's take a look. Temperatures throughout much of the Great Lakes region, they are in the 60s. And some places just near 50. And then we go to the Upper Peninsula. Temperatures are in the 50s to low 60s. Wisconsin, temperatures are in they actually range from the mid 50s, 57, located in. Oh no, that's in Michigan. 56 in Rhinelander, to 72 in Bocasville, Wisconsin. But it's quite warm on the eastern side, though. That's because it's ahead of the cold front, though. Then we see in Minnesota, temperatures are in the mid 50s to upper 60s. In the Dakotas, temperatures are in the 60s in North Dakota, but South Dakota more along the lines of mid 60s to low 70s. Let's take a look at Iowa and Missouri. Temperatures are in the mid 60s to low 70s. Kansas, they're in the 70s, but in the southern part of the state, temperatures increase to the 80s and low 90s there. That's because you have a cold front that's there, and yet cool air. It's in the north on the northern side. Let's go to the northern Rockies. We got temperatures there. They're in the 70s, but close to 60, but around 68 in Ronan, Montana. Though it's very warm in places like Hamilton, Montana. Idaho has temperatures that are in the 80s on the southern end. Then going on to the northern end, they're in the upper 60s. Oh, my bad. Well, let's see what we got in Wyoming. Temperatures are in the 60s to mid 60s and 70s, but 79 in Orland, Wyoming, to 61 in places like Saratoga, Wyoming, to Kemmerer, Wyoming, Colorado. Okay, so Colorado has a challenging thing for telling what the weather is. So on the plains side, which is the eastern side, temperatures are in the 70s. But on the western side, you have temperatures that range from the upper 40s to mid 60s due to rugged terrain. And throughout many parts of western Colorado, mountains, and sometimes becomes deserts on the far western side. In Utah, you get temperatures, they're in they actually range from 47, just located right around the Dugway Proving Ground. This is something that's a little more classified. But either way, the airport at KDPG, they do have 47 degrees. And, temperatures are quite warm. No, that's not warm. In St. George, it's at 81 degrees. Temperatures are in the upper 60s in Salt Lake City, and then going into Nevada, where temperatures throughout much of the state they're at 64 in Tonopah to 82 in Battle Mountain. But then you go to Las Vegas, temperatures they're in the 80s. In the desert Southwest, temperatures range from 66 in Capitan, New Mexico, to 86 in places like Carlsbad. And going into North Arizona, you get temperatures that are in the 60s to mid 70s. In the southern part, temperatures they're in the 80s and mid 90s. Then into California. In Northern California, this is the part that gets challenging. On the coastal side, they're in the 50s to 60s. Then in the Sierra Nevadas, it's quite warm in Redding. Then temperatures are slightly down in the upper 60s to mid 70s. The Sierra Nevadas, it's quite chilly with temperatures in the low 60s, but 86, just located in Bishop, California. The San Francisco Bay Area has temperatures that are in the mid 70s for the high. And going down along the coast, they're in the 60s and 70s. LA, in the LA area, they're in the 70s. And San Diego's at 81. The desert in Indio, they are at 92 degrees. Then throughout much of the desert, looks like temperatures are in the 80s. At 69 in Ridgecrest. In the Pacific Northwest, see what we got. So we do have plenty of temperatures that are in the 60s and 70s throughout much of Oregon, though along the coast they're in the 50s and low 60s. In the leeward side of the Cascades, temperatures are in the 60s and low 70s, mid 70s. Then cross into the coastal part of the state, they're in the 50s and 60s, though it's 47 in KSMP, just located just a few couple miles just northeast of Mount Rainier. Okay, so now let's go back and go here, but we're not really going to do the 3-day forecast yet. We'll get to it. yeah, we will get to that in a couple minutes. Right now, I want to transition to here, where instead we're going to show where that humidity is, just so that we get a better sense of what we're dealing with. Okay, so there's plenty of humidity throughout the southeast, and plenty of humidity as well throughout Michigan. While your temperature is actually at 59 degrees with winds coming from the northwest, moving around, just basically moving around to about 20 miles an hour. I have to look at it just to be sure. It's moving at around 20 miles an hour. Gust-wise, yeah, it's very strong gusts for you, Wild. So, you got gusts that are moving up to 40, maybe close to 50 miles an hour there. Let's go back to humidity. Plenty of humidity throughout places like the Great Basin, parts of Arizona. A lot of humidity throughout Northern California, all the way to Seattle and British Columbia. Take a look at gusts throughout the U.S. A lot of gusts along the southeast, mostly on the coastal side, and throughout northern Florida. Parts of Arizona, plenty of gusts moving up to 40 miles an hour. Maybe a little stronger, just located in the immediate coastal side of the Carolinas and Georgia. A lot of strong winds in the Sierra Nevadas, moving around 70 miles an hour or 80 in a few areas. In Nevada, up to 60 miles an hour. And in the northwestern part of the plains, like on the western side of the Dakotas, on the eastern Montana, very, plenty of gusts, just up to 40 miles an hour there. Let's go back to the Great Lakes region, where Michigan, on the northern side, they're experiencing wind gusts of up to 40 to 60 miles an hour, maybe a little stronger in a few areas and localized areas. And let's take a look at rainfall accumulation. So where's the rainfall accumulation? So there's an estimate of about 4 inches of rain, maybe locally heavier amounts though. Just up to a 1/4 inch of rain along the eastern side of Michigan. About variable amounts, mostly ranging up to 1 inch of rain, but maybe higher in places like St. George and right around the Las Vegas area, just up to 2 to 3 inches of rain. Northern California and parts of the Pacific Northwest will experience rainfall estimates of up to about 1 inch to maybe close to 2 to 3 inches of rain. Places like Crescent City and Eureka, California. Alright, I mean, best, let me see, slowing down a bit, though, by the looks of it. Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, that's because you have a cold front that's sweeping through. I mean, of course, there are gusts, but it is starting to wind down as soon as the cold front moves away. For accurate details, do consult with your local officials and your local weather office for up-to-date precipitation, accumulation, especially gusts, and wind speed and wind direction as well, due to local terrain and such, because they play a role in changing the weather and localized weather. Now let's take a look. Oh yeah, and before we get to that, I do want to see like any snowfall amounts. If there's any new snowfall. Barely, which maybe up to 1 inch of snow in a few places, just spotty areas throughout Northern California to Washington and Northern Idaho. But not in a widespread fashion though, but we'll look a little further into that. But right now, let's just focus on the upper level winds, the upper part of the atmosphere. So let's see. Yeah, lots of strong gusts today, especially in the morning. Yeah. And it's all because of this system that's right here, right now. So let me take a quick sip.